because so many of these symptoms are alike. Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Yesenia and today I'm going to talk about my first trimester recap. So with this I'm going to talk about how I found out, cravings, symptoms I was having, and all that good stuff. And I just want to make note that everybody's pregnancy is different and mine included. So I know some women have it really bad, but I guess this video is going to show that the other side of that, where you may not have all the worst symptoms in the world and you'll come out okay. Because my experience was that it wasn't so bad, but I know everybody's different. I'm going to start off with how I found out. And I usually track my period on this app that I have on my phone. And I actually forgot to log in the previous month, which would have been February. And I just noticed that I hadn't had my period in way too long. And mine is always off by a few days. So I was like, oh, sometimes I stress about it and it'll come in a couple days. But it didn't. So I was like, oh, let me just take a test for shits and giggles. And then it was positive. So I didn't believe the first 2 tests that I had at home. So I went to Walmart. I bought 3 different boxes and I got the ones that say pregnant, the ones that have the little cross lines and everything. And all 10 to like 15 tests were positive. So then that's when it kind of kicked in and I was like, I'm pregnant. I'm not gonna lie, I did freak out because it came as a surprise. This wasn't planned. And I just want to make a note out there to other women who just found out they're pregnant. It's okay to feel different emotions. I know a lot of times it can be happy emotions, but it's also okay if you feel scared, if you feel nervous, sad, happy, all these emotions at once. It's okay and it's normal. I felt very scared and nervous. So since I took all those tests on a Sunday, the very next day on Monday, I went to my hospital and I took a urine test because I have to confirm with the hospital that I'm pregnant before they make appointments with the OB and the blood and all that stuff. So I took the urine test. 2 hours later, get a call. Yep, you're pregnant. So then they started making an appointment with my OB. But my first appointment wasn't until like, I was around 10 or 12 weeks, I think it was. And I know it's pretty normal, but I wanted to personally know how far along I was just so I can be informed, you know? So I did go to a pregnancy center that was not my doctor, but they're totally donation based, so it was completely free. And they were able to do the transvaginal ultrasound, I think it's called. And that's the one where they put the ultrasound thing inside you. And I had never heard of this before, so it was definitely a surprise when I found out they were gonna do that to me. So just a heads up. So yeah, they did the internal ultrasound and they found the sac, they found the heartbeat. I was actually 6 weeks along and they saw the heartbeat, so that was pretty surprising, I would say. I didn't expect to see the heartbeat at all. I thought it was something that came later. But it was there, and I actually got a picture of my first ultrasound where it looked like the size of a grain of rice. So that's when it kicked it back in, like, this is real, this is happening, there's a heartbeat inside of me, you know? So I would say it became a lot more real. I like to be very informed, so I like to look at all my options. And, you know, I'm very happy with what I decided, but I want to let other moms or parents know that if you're gonna go with the adoption route or abortion or anything like that, it's okay. People are gonna judge no matter what. Yeah, that's how I found out I was pregnant, and I was 6 weeks along. So next I'm gonna talk about symptoms. I would say the very first symptom that I had was very sore breast. And I mean like no one's touching them and they hurt. And my breasts usually get like this kind of when I'm on my period, like they're sensitive and stuff, but never like this bad. But I just assumed like, oh, it's my period, it's just more intense this time. Well, no. I later read on that when you're pregnant, they do get into really sore just because they're growing and they're gonna start to produce milk and all that good stuff. So I would say that's my first symptom that I had, but I didn't correlate it with pregnancy just because it's something I correlated with period, because so many of these symptoms are alike. So yeah, it got to the point where wearing my normal bras was uncomfortable. Even my sports bra felt like too tight. So I went ahead and I went to Walmart, got like a maternity bra and then another sports bra. I don't know why I got another sports bra. It ended up being too tight like a couple weeks later, so now I don't even wear that one anymore. So the maternity bra It was super comfortable, and I got a bigger size, obviously. And now I've gone ahead and bought more, but those were my initial purchases, I would say, for the changes of my body. So the next famous symptom that everybody talks about is morning sickness. And I didn't get morning sickness until about like 10 weeks. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, I'm 7-8 weeks. Like, I'm not going to get it. I'm not, because I haven't had it yet. Well, it came along. And it lasted from about like 10 to 12 weeks. And I'm not going to say it was the worst. I feel like I had a pretty okay time. I just felt really sick to my stomach. And by the way, you don't just get this in the morning. It's a throughout the day type of thing. So I don't know why people say morning sickness, because it's not. But anyway, I would feel it, especially when I woke up. I felt like sick. And I had read a lot and seen a lot of videos that it may be caused due to hunger. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and eat. Whether it was like a milk and cereal or the Little Bites muffins or just something to have in my stomach, I would eat it and I would feel better. So every time I felt sick, I would eat. And I know that sounds weird because a lot of women, they say they get sick and they can't eat, and a lot of women actually lose weight. But for me, when I ate, I felt better. So whenever I felt nauseous, I would get like a snack or something, and lo and behold, I would feel better. And I never actually threw up. I only had like dry heaving, I think that's what it's called, like twice, where I felt like I had to run to the toilet and put my head down, prepared to throw up. But it never came. So it's kind of annoying because I feel like throwing up might relieve you a little bit. But since I didn't throw up, it was just there. It was kind of annoying, but I mean, it is what it is. And to me, it only lasted like 2 weeks, so it wasn't even that bad. And I know other women have it worse, but this is my experience. So next, I'm going to talk about emotions, because there was a whole lot of emotions going on. Like I said before, this was an unplanned pregnancy. So yes, I was happy, but I was scared. And then I was very sad a lot of times. And I just don't think that's something people really talk about often. I feel like when you see people announce their pregnancies, you always see like smiles and all this good stuff. But it's actually a lot more to it. I don't know. For me personally, I would say I felt these times of really big like sadness. I would cry randomly. I was definitely crying for sometimes no reason. Sometimes I was thinking about my life change. Sometimes I was thinking about a million scenarios. Or sometimes it was just literally for no reason and I would cry. So I would say that's something that was surprising to me. I didn't expect to feel this overwhelming sadness for no reason. But at the same time, with all that, of course, it's a very nerve-wracking time. So I felt like sadness, but I also felt scared, nervous, and happy. But yeah, my biggest tip would be to have someone that you can talk to honestly about your feelings, because when I told my family, I got a lot of reactions and everybody was, of course, like excited and happy. But with that being said, I feel like I couldn't be honest with how I felt with the nervousness and the sadness that I was having. And when I did mention it, they kind of just be like, oh, why, you know? So I had my husband that I can talk to, and I feel like I can be really honest and say like, hey, this is how I feel. And I feel A, B, and C. And if I cry, it's okay. I cry. And having that support person to me, I feel like whether it's your significant other or parent, best friend, whoever it is, I feel like just have that one person to talk to. It's gonna make you feel better. I promise you. Holding in these feelings is really hard, especially this big change in your life with whatever you decide to do. It's a big surprising event in your life. So having someone to talk to, I would say, is really important. Next, I'm gonna talk about weight gain. So I don't know about you guys, but I always thought that once you're pregnant, you gain weight. But that wasn't the case, at least for me. I found out when I was 6 weeks. But I didn't really start gaining weight till like 11, 13 weeks around there. But it wasn't like I gained a whole bunch of weight. It was just like a pound or two difference, like here and there going a little bit up. And definitely no bump at all. I think a lot of it was water retention, honestly. And I didn't start gaining weight where I had a belly bump until like my second trimester. And even then the belly bump didn't come till like mid second trimester, around there. But yeah, the weight gain is really slow in the beginning, especially because of the food aversions a lot of women have. I didn't have the aversions really. There were just a couple of things that smelled weird. Oh, that's one thing. Your sense of smell increases like crazy. Like, I can smell things from far away, and I'll be like, oh, what's that smell? And then my husband's like, what are you talking about? And it's just crazy how good our senses become. And that's a good thing, I guess. But it's also like really bad, because let's say like you have something that smells in your trash. I can smell that from like the moment I walk down the last step from like the stairs. I can smell it all the way in the kitchen, the garbage. It sucks. But it's good on the sense that like good things smell really good. And the last thing are cravings. I did not have any weird cravings, and I was honestly, that was one of the things I was like waiting for. What's gonna be my weird craving? I see women eating like pickles with mustard. I don't know. I hate pickles. I hate mustard. I don't know why I said that. But I thought I was gonna have like these cool creative ideas. Do you want to know what my craving was? Ruffles with ketchup. I know it sounds weird, but it's a potato and it's ketchup. It's like fries with ketchup, but chip form. But trust me, it's really good. Don't knock it till you try it. Ruffles with ketchup was delicious, and I craved that kind of a lot in my first trimester. It ended up kind of going away in my second, third trimester. I don't really eat it now as much, but that was the bomb at the time. And that's what I have for the first trimester recap. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll answer them honestly for how my experience was. I definitely had a lot of questions when I found out, and I did a bunch of YouTube and readings. So if I can help you, I definitely will. Just leave a comment below. And that's it, guys. I'm gonna film a second and third trimester recap as well. So just be on the lookout for that if you're interested. And I will see you next week.